Hey there, you're listening to Cumulative Upkeep, just a couple of friends chatting about Magic, this game we all love so much. Yeah! I'm Jay, I love Commander, and am an aspiring Modern player, and one of these days I won't have to say aspiring anymore.
No, there you go, yeah. Right.
And this is my co-host, the Booster Tutor.
Oh boy. Hey everyone, I'm a lover of Limited, especially since I got to draft a little Masters 25.
Oh man, what?
Loving it.
Yeah, so it's a good draft set.
Move on into what we're playing?
Yeah, so that's the first part of our show. We
exactly.
talk about what we're playing, then move on to the news, then to our main topic. And I'll just put a spoiler out there now. We're going to talk about some spoilers. So disclaimer, if you don't want to hear about Dominaria, stop listening.
Well, maybe stop listening after the news.
Oh, yeah. We'll do another disclaimer after Boosty tells us about his draft.
pending turn-offage.
Right.
All right, so I got to do some only one Masters 25 draft.
Okay.
Man, like Friday night it got released. 7 o'clock was the time to sign up. And I was like, oh, I better sign up fast. I called like 1 p.m. Like, hey, put me on the list. Got there at 7. Only like 5 people had signed up. So I was like, oh, really? So I had to wait around for like another hour and a half for it to finally fill up.
Okay.
But it was fun. Like, I went a really weird deck. I went almost mono black and just like super aggro. I had like 3 Vampire Lacerators, which are the 1-drops that are 2/2s.
Okay.
I had 3 of the Relentless Rippers, I think it's called. The ones that are like 1/1 death touch, but you can morph them.
Okay, sure.
And when you flip them, your opponent loses 2 life.
Okay.
And then 3 of the Urg Raiders, the 2-mana 2/3s.
Okay.
That want you to attack or they deal damage to you. And Ravenous Chupacabra. And yeah, it was just like a ton of 1 and 2 drops. And I just went 3-0. So yeah, so not bad. The first deck I played against was like a 3-color like cycle deck where they were trying to like cycle for lands to get their big things out. And then the second deck I played against, which was pretty weird. Like it was a Boros deck, but like like the first game I got them, the second game they dropped the Baron guy, or Brian, whatever his name is.
Okay.
The 4/4 giant with like lifelink, and he can like fling other guys at you. And so basically he puts him down. I'm like, oh, I'm an aggro deck, and this guy has lifelink, and every time he throws a creature at me, he's gaining life. So like that game ended with me dying and him at like 32 life. But then then the next game once he got him down, I killed him immediately. So I was like, gotta get rid of that. And then the last game was another aggro deck, and I just outraced him. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it wasn't too exciting because just mono black aggro isn't like the funnest deck, but it still got there, so it's fine with me.
Seemed to have worked.
Yeah, and in the draft I opened an Imperial Recruiter, so nice. Before the draft I got 3 packs. I got a foil Arcane Denial,
Okay.
a Vindicate, and a foil Blood Moon. And then from my prize pack, because it was for standard packs for the draft, but we split in the end, so it was 3 packs, and they let me trade those in to get a pack of Masters, and I got another Blood Moon. So yeah.
What I'm hearing is Masters 25 has been extremely nice to you because you had that amazing box opening as well on your channel.
All I'm saying is it's the best set ever, according to me. As long as you open only good cards, it's the best set ever.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So now I should just stop buying any Masters because I probably peaked. Don't want to dump more money into it.
Yeah. Well, or stop Magic either.
Yeah. No, that's you gotta chase that dragon. Come on.
Yeah, that was a dumb suggestion. Excuse me.
How dare you?
Stop Magic on this Magic podcast.
I know, right? Like, hey, you should just kill this podcast.
Done.
What about you? Do you play any Magic?
Yeah, so I saw my partner last weekend, and we played so much Magic.
Nice.
And for a while, it was just him beating my face in.
With what?
So first he played his Planeswalkers, or Atraxa.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think. And then he played his zombies.
Okay.
And then...
Who's his commander for that? Who's his commander for that one?
Crap. The brother and sister duo.
Oh, just not Jalil, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. Geralf and
yeah,
Gisa.
Yeah, Gisa and Geralf. Yeah, there we go. And I was playing like all my favorite decks. Like I played Sisay, I played Animar. Wasn't having any luck. It was bad. And then there was one game. It was Atraxa versus Animar, and I'd lost 5 games in a row, and he just like performed brilliantly. And then I was like about to die as well, and I played a couple of Animar-y things, and then like got Animar way up there. But then he played the white Kami that fogs basically.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then he played a disc, a Nev's disc. And so I was like, well, this isn't going to end well for me until I draw. But I had like a bunch of like Sylvan Library and like a bunch of like stuff that I can do on the top of my library. So I drew the Hydra that you remove a +1/+1 counter and it deals 1 damage to a creature.
Okay.
So it was one of those super satisfying, like, I'm going to swing in for lethal. And then he's like, I'm going to sacrifice my Kami. And I'm like, actually, I'm going to deal 1 damage to that little something not explicit.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Oh. So I was very humbled, except for that one game.
There you go. And then like the rest of the time, you're just like, remember that time I beat your face in?
Yeah. Right. But then I posted on Twitter about this wonderful, when I was playing Sisay, he had a wonderful deploy the Gatewatch, and I was just like, oh no.
You're like, that card shouldn't work that well.
Right.
All right, so want to move into news?
On to the news. First up, the NDA for Magic Arena lifts March 22nd. So if you've been playing in the beta of Magic Arena, you can finally talk about it on the 22nd, though I'm sure a lot of people have already been talking about it. But officially, you can openly talk about it, and you can start streaming it if you are able to do that. That'll be awesome.
Right? Yeah. I mean, they need to patch in some Apple support there, and I would do that. But
right, get us in there.
Yeah, right. They also like released like a little like streamers like help guide, like things you should do if you want to stream, like just tips, and then also like some overlays and stuff for like it starts in 5 minutes or something, like a little countdown. Like it was pretty cool. I was like, oh, that's cool. In case you just want to like add a little magic to your stream.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah. Next we have Heroes of Dominaria.
Ooh. It's
a new board game coming out. I think it's July, and then August is a special like deluxe edition, and it has like 4 planeswalkers in it as the heroes, and the deluxe version you'll have painted miniatures that you can use to represent them and stuff. So basically it's a Euro style game. There's like a map of all the places in Dominaria. They each have like mana on them that if you go there you collect it, and they'll have like a quest you can do, and there's a victory lane on the outside where every time like you do a quest or you can fight the Cabal, and if you defeat them you get points. And basically there's a limited number of turns, and you're just going like trying to collect the most points to win at the end of the turns.
Okay.
Yeah, so you pick one of the planeswalkers to be, probably like Karn, Teferi, what's her name? Jori?
Jorah.
What? Is it Jorah?
I grew up pronouncing it Jawira, which I know isn't wrong. So now I don't know.
According to this podcast, it is Jiraiya. What you said.
Jawira.
And as a planeswalker, when you collect the mana, you have like certain abilities you can do if you pay that mana.
Okay.
So it's kind of like another game, like if you spent money to buy something, this is like the ability. And you also go around collecting artifacts, so it'll give you like static abilities throughout the whole game and stuff. So
cool.
Yeah, doesn't sound too bad.
You gonna play it?
Maybe. As long as it's not like $60 or something.
If someone else has it.
Okay, if someone else, like, heck yeah, I will. Cool. I just hope it's not like a generic Euro style game with just like a magic skin on it, type of thing. You're like, this is kind of like Magic, but not really. But
it's like forced, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it feels like it.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Dominaria release notes were leaked. So apparently, I guess they were supposed to release like notes for something else, and in China on the Wizards website accidentally released the release notes for Dominaria.
Oof.
In Chinese. So like everyone saw this and they were like trying to translate as best as they could. And then Wizards, instead of like just ignoring it, were like, yeah, we messed up. And here's release notes in English and every other language. So you can just look at it. And yeah, this sucks, but you know, we're going to own up to our mistakes. So
I thought that was pretty well done by Wizards.
yeah, no, that was like, okay, sweet. And then like, it sucked because Masters 25 was like just about to come out when it happened. And so it kind of took the like wind out of that sails.
Right.
Though I think some other things took the wind on that sails. But yeah, but then it got everyone hyped for Dominaria because the set looks freaking awesome.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we'll just put that disclaimer back up here. Stop listening. We love you, but this is not the episode for you.
Yeah. If you don't want to know anything about Dominaria, tune out now. We'll see you next time. Thank you for listening. But our main topic is we're just going to talk about Dominaria now.
So, are you so excited for this?
I'm so excited. Like, I'm so happy with this set. Like,
it looks so good.
There's like so much history in it. There's so much like, oh my God, that's that. And like, oh my God, that's that. Like, I never thought they would go back to some of those things, like mention Urza again and stuff like that. Like, yeah, they did an Unstable, but to actually do it like in the canon of Magic again, freaking awesome.
And like drawing in things like Umezawa. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Umezawa, like he's actually in it because I mean, everyone knows about his Jitty, but what about him? Like, what happened to him?
The man behind the Jitty.
Right. Because like technically his thing happened thousands of years ago, right? Or is he like a descendant of him? I'm not quite sure. We'll find out. I know someone's a descendant of him from like Legends or something. So
yeah,
we'll see. But yeah,
right. But the last time we saw him was on Dominaria.
Yeah, exactly.
And what happened to his Jite? Like, how did that end up somewhere else?
Maybe like he just like, oops, I dropped it, and then planes walked away. Or
have this, Kamigawa.
Yeah, there you go. So let's start off with the mechanics.
Yeah.
So first up, we have a new card type, I guess, called Sagas. Saga cards. Each saga tells the story of a key event from the past as it unfolds during each of your turns. So basically, these are enchantments. When they come down, they have 3 chapters, like to a story, basically. And when it comes down, you put a lore counter on the first chapter, and then something will happen. And then during your next main phase, your first main phase, you put another lore counter, and then something else happens. And then the third one, something happens, and then you sacrifice it, and it's gone. So first we have Phyrexian Scriptures. It's 2 black for a mythic enchantment saga. So its first chapter is put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. That creature becomes an artifact in addition to its other types. So basically like it's becoming Phyrexian, right? Then the next one is destroy all non-artifact creatures. So Phyrexian's destroying everything, taking over a plane or something like that.
Sure. And
then the third one, exile all cards from all opponents' graveyards. Don't really know what that one means. Maybe wiping out the Phyrexians? I don't know. But yeah, so I like how it tells like a little story, basically.
So you like these?
Yeah, I think they're cool. Like it's a nice little idea. The cards look weird though.
Okay.
Yeah, like
I feel like it's something out of Star Wars.
What do you mean? Like how it looks?
Like the technology. I mean, because like Magic always looks a little like old, I guess.
Yeah, like a book of lore almost or something like that. Like
right, but this is definitely like with the 1, 2, and 3, it looks a little more futuristic.
Yeah, I get you. Like there's so many like sharp angles, and it looks almost like, I guess because it's Phyrexian, they're kind of like mechanical.
Right.
But that's not for just his cards, for all of them. So that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get you. Like maybe if it looked more like a book, maybe or something.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it just doesn't look like a Magic card, but I do like how the art is, how it's like long full art there, but then the left side looks all weird. But I do like how there's the big Phyrexian symbol behind the like a watermark.
Where?
Behind the where it says like chapter 1, 2, and 3.
Ooh, I see what you're talking about.
Right?
That's pretty neat. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
That's cool. So how do you feel about them? Like you're just like, eh?
I think I really appreciate that there's something new. I think it's fun and exciting.
Yeah, it's nice they're trying new stuff, but sometimes it doesn't work out. Like Aftermath, was that what that weird card type was, where it was sideways in the graveyard?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I'll get to play with one of these and then surprise, I'll actually love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I do like how it's the old like lore, like, telling old stories and stuff. That's cool.
Everything seems to be so flavorful in this set.
Right. Oh man. Like, I bet if you're like a Vorthos right now, your head's just like exploding. Like, oh my God.
Right. What do I look at first?
Right? They're confirming all these like theories I had. Next, legendary permanents are a big thing in this set.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
So every booster pack comes with a legendary creature, at least one of them.
Okay.
So I think they said it's kind of like how like the flip cards are. How like in the back there's a legendary. So, and I think maybe it's taking the place of a common. Basically, you could get 3 mythics in a pack. You get a foil, a regular, and then a legendary creature.
Sure.
I always like that. That's nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, tons of legendary stuff in this set, including legendary sorceries.
How do you feel about these?
These are weird.
You don't like them?
I mean, they're fine, but they're just very limited, it feels like.
It's true.
Not limited like format, just like, I don't know. I feel like maybe if it's legendary, it should be, I don't want to say like super awesome, but the fact that it's like you can only, so basically these are, you can only cast them if you control a legendary creature or a legendary planeswalker.
Right.
Yeah, so you have to have like a certain thing just to cast it, which kind of sucks. But I guess the effect can be worth it.
Yes.
Yeah. As in Karn's Temporal Sundering, which is 4 blue for a legendary sorcery. Target player takes an extra turn after this one. Return up to 1 target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, and then exile Karn's Temporal Sundering. So, how do you feel about this card?
So if it is a legendary sorcery, like you already have to meet that standard.
Yeah.
You're right. This one, I don't feel like it does necessarily enough.
Yeah. Like for 6 mana to take an extra turn and then bounce something, it's like, yeah, I could see that as a mythic. It doesn't, the fact that it's like, then you have to have a legendary also, it's like, I feel like it should be a little bit more.
Yeah. I like the one, it's a white destroy all non-legendary creatures.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Or Urza's Wrath, I think, or something like that. Or...
And all I can think of is my Captain Sisay deck. So.
Oh, God, right? Yeah. You're just like, oh, all your stuff is gone.
Yeah, I like having, you know, more Cyclonic Rift options. I mean,
Exactly.
It's not quite as good as Cyclonic Rift.
Not quite, but
I'll
it's very one-sided, which is always nice.
Right, exactly.
Okay, and next, something... Like, when I read this, I had to, like, reread it and, like, wait, are they doing this?
I'm so excited.
A new game term for legendaries, artifacts, and sagas called historic. So basically, does that mean every legendary artifact and saga ever printed is now just historic?
Sounds like that's what it means to me.
That's crazy.
Yep. And that's why I'm getting a new commander by the name of Jawira.
Jawira, Weatherlight Captain, 2 blue, red for a 3/3. Whenever you cast a historic spell, draw a card. So anytime you cast an artifact, draw a card.
Draw
right?
everything. Draw
what?
everything.
That's just, wow. That's just, okay. I don't know. That's weird.
You don't like it?
No, I like it. It's just like, it's so weird that there's like, oh yeah, all those things before now they're a new term called historic. It's just like really a big like sweeping change almost. I mean, maybe it won't affect too much outside Dominaria, but I mean, it feels like it will for Commander.
It definitely will for Commander.
Yeah, seriously. And next, a returning mechanic, Kicker.
Kicker. So
Kicker is basically you pay the cost of a card, and then if it has Kicker, like say 3, you pay that additional cost and an effect will happen. So pay an additional cost to have an additional effect. And one of the new cards in Dominaria is a Grun, the Lonely King. 4 green for a 5/5 legendary creature, Ape Warrior. I like that. Kicker 3. If Grun, the Lonely King, was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 5 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever it attacks alone, double its power and toughness until end of turn.
So do you like Kicker?
Kicker is it's a little boring because so many cards are kind of like Kicker already.
What?
I don't know. It's fine. I've just never been that big of a fan of it. Because it's
what
such
else
late,
is like this?
It's such late game stuff. Buyback is like Kicker.
Okay.
Because you're paying extra to get the card back.
Sure.
There's Fuse, which if you want to have a second ability on there from the card, you pay an extra cost. There is Multi-kicker. There's overload. Overload is like paying extra to get a better ability, right? There's equip. You play the card, then you pay extra to put it on a creature.
And so flying is like horsemanship, and infect is like poison.
Come on, you're getting crazy now.
Don't be crazy.
Don't be crazy. Come on.
You're hysterical.
Okay, so maybe, I like kicker. Maybe it's been around too long is my problem. I like it's coming back, but it's just kind of like yawn sometimes.
Well, that's unfortunate for kicker. I'm glad it's back.
And then next we have some rule changes coming with Dominaria.
We sure do.
First, a big one. Damage can't be redirected to Planeswalkers. So basically before, if like say you had a lightning bolt and you dealt 3 damage to a player, you could just say, I'm going to redirect that to the Planeswalker. So now cards will read, instead of target creature or player, it'll be changed to any target. And abilities that read target player have been changed from target player or Planeswalker. So it's supposed to be less confusing, but I think in the long run it'll work out.
I think so too. Definitely better for newer players.
Yeah, exactly. Because like that redirect rule, if you're a newer player, you're like, wait, what? I don't understand.
It sounds like one of those rules that you're cheating, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Like whenever like someone does it to you, you're like, no, you can't do that. And you call a judge, you're like, no, they can do that. Like, wait, I didn't know that. Yeah. Yes. So it makes like some old errata a little weird, but should work out.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Like an example of this is Wizard's Lightning, which is 2 and a red, and this spell costs 2 less to cast if you control a wizard. And Wizard's Lightning deals 3 damage to any target.
It makes sense, but it'll be weird to read.
Yeah.
Just for like this set. It'll be weird.
Exactly. It'll be like a little off. Next, Mana Pool has been removed on text cards.
Which will be even weirder.
Yeah, right? So, Land of War Elves, which, can I just tell you how excited I am that's in this set?
They're back.
Oh my god, like I never thought Wizards would ever redo a 1-drop mana dork. Yeah. I thought there was just 2 drops from now on. And then they bring back, the OG elf.
The OG elf.
So he used to be tap, add green to your mana pool. Now it'll just be tap, add green.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I guess maybe just so people don't think about a mana pool. Like, what's that? And it's like, well, that's where you store your mana. And it's like, just add green. You know what that means.
Yeah. We all know, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then a very nice one is they are changing the his and her and she, he to they, their. That just makes sense.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Like, what was it? Humrid Explorer? 3 and a blue for a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, target player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard.
Thank you for choosing this as the example card, just because I'm excited to have Hedron Crab's older, less accomplished brother.
Right? You're like, I'll make something myself eventually.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Wizards, for being inclusive.
Exactly. And just like, it's such a little thing to change, but it's also inclusive. And I mean, why would you ever get upset over it?
We'll get to that later.
Oh. And lastly, on this part, story. So don't know much about the story, but there are story spotlight cards. There's 4 of them, apparently. Mm-hmm. The first one is Broken Bond, which maybe that means something is breaking its bonds, like a villain or something.
Okay.
Or maybe it means a certain bond between friends. Planeswalkers was broken, and there's hard feelings.
What are you suggesting?
Maybe Teferi and Karn and all of them had something happened in the past that they went their separate ways, and now they got to come back together.
Right.
But the second one, Final Parting. Ooh, someone's gonna die, maybe.
Ugh. That makes
someone's
me
gonna sacrifice themselves. Oh wait, yep, someone's gonna die because the next one is settle the score.
Right.
Yep. So I'm gonna settle the score with somebody. Who could that be? I don't know, because the 4th one is in Bolus's clutches. Gonna set us right off to Magic 2019 there, core set, which features Bolus. So I'm guessing Bolus will make an appearance on Dominaria in some way.
Right.
So yeah. Sounds like it's not going to be the happiest of sets.
It certainly doesn't.
So let's go into the cards. First, we have Planeswalkers.
Yay!
We have Karn, Teferi, and Jaya.
Sure, let's go with it.
Sure, yeah. So Karn, Scion of Urza. So bring up Urza there, love it. 4 colorless mana, has 5 loyalty. His +1 is reveal the top 2 cards of your library. An opponent chooses one of them. Put that card into your hand and exile the other with a silver counter on it. -1, put a card you own with a silver counter on it from exile into your hand. -2, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control.
Baby Karn.
Yeah, right, basically. It feels more like the Karn from old, like the Silver Golem where he's making like artifacts and stuff.
Yeah.
Not as powerful as the 7-drop because that was a 7-drop. So
Right.
yeah. So how do you feel about this one?
I like him.
Yeah, he's fine. Like I'd play him. He doesn't seem too exciting. But I mean, drawing cards basically and then creating creatures.
Right. But, you know, Karn is immortal, which means he'll be around forever, which means we'll see lots of iterations of him. So
exactly, right? Yeah. And, you know, maybe we'll get an 8-drop. You never know.
What?
You're right. Do you want to do Teferi?
Yeah. So next we have Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. 3, a white and a blue for 4 loyalty. So his +1 is draw a card at the beginning of your next end step. Untap 2 lands. -3, put target non-land permanent into its owner's library, 3rd from the top. And then -8, you get an emblem with whenever you draw a card, exile target permanent and opponent controls.
Ouch.
So it's a very white-blue.
No, yeah, that's like drawing cards and then putting things back in the library at a certain spot.
Yeah.
And then that other one, drawing cards and an exiling. Oh.
So how do you feel about Teferi?
Standard, I have no idea. I don't think you'll find a home there. Modern, probably not either. But Commander, it's going to be broken. And limited, like if you can get a grindy deck, that's just going to be horrible to play against.
Yes.
I mean, drawing a card and then setting up to do like something on their turn, perfect for control. Just putting protecting itself by putting something the 3rd from the top. That's annoying. And that emblem is crazy, especially Commander.
Yes.
You're like, draw a card, pew, draw a card, pew, 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 pew.
Pew, pew, pew.
Exile.
That's how Teferi sounds. That's his official.
Exactly, yeah. You know, under his breath with his stack, it's all pew, 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 pew.
Yes.
What about you? How do you feel about him?
Commander. Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Enough said. So then we have Jaya Bellard, who, if I'm not mistaken, is a very similar character to Chandra.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
2 colorless and 3 red for a 5 loyalty planeswalker. +1, add 3 red. Spend this mana only to cast instant or sorcery spells. She has another +1. Discard up to 3 cards and then draw that many cards. And then her -8 is you get an emblem with you may cast instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard. If a card cast this way would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. So flashback.
Yeah, basically. Interesting card.
Interesting card.
Yeah, I don't really like it that much.
No.
Yeah, the mana cost is really like
absolutely
3 red.
3
That's
red.
crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't play this in limited.
No.
I guess some kind of spells deck in Commander. I mean, are you trying to storm? Do storm in Commander maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's about the only thing I can see because it's so much cares about instants and sorceries.
Right.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's cool that she's back.
No, yeah, it's super cool. I mean, but yeah, I'm not really feeling this card.
Do you think that she might be the one to die?
Who dies? I mean, they pretty much have her as Chandra, so why have 2 characters of the same? I see her blowing herself up to do something, maybe to save the day.
Absolutely.
You never know. Yeah. And next, we have a weird little monocolored cycle. These are all the 3 colors. Like there's ones that are like triple white, triple blue, triple red, triple green, triple black. We don't know yet. We only know the 4 so far. So we have Benelish Marshal, Human Knight. He's a 3/3. Other creatures you control get +1/+1, and it's triple white.
And
that's a
then
hard card to cast.
What?
I said that's a hard card to cast.
It sure is. All of them are. Yeah. Then we have Tempest Djinn, which is 3 blue. Creature, Djinn, 0/4, flyer, and it gets +1/+0 for each basic island you control, which hopefully is at least 3.
Yeah, exactly. Next, we have Goblin Chain Whirler, red for a 3/3. First strike. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. Okay, nice little effect, I guess.
Yeah. And then we have green for Steel Leaf Champion, which is a 5/4. It can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about these. I think they're a little too much there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice they're 3 mana, but it's just like, I'm not going to ever pay this cost to get this effect. I mean, they're not that powerful for the mana cost. In limited, they're okay, but you're never going to be able to cast in limited because when are you ever going to go monocolor?
Unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate. Oh, well, but it's a nice little cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying stuff new. So.
But what are your favorite cards in this deck?
Okay. In the set. Let's see. First off, I got to give out to Squee the Immortal. It's Squee. He's the best.
Squee is back.
Squee's back. And he's not bad, but he's something. He's 1 red for a 2/1. You may cast Squee the Immortal from your graveyard or from exile. It's okay.
It's
fine,
it's a card.
It's a card. It's
but
Squee.
It's Squee.
It's Squee. Come on. What about you? You got one?
Let's see. I am super excited for Damping Sphere. I love cards that just ruin people's days.
So. What's it do?
So this one is, it's a 2-cost for an artifact. If a land is tapped for 2 or more mana, it produces 0 instead of any other type and amount. And then each spell a player casts costs 1 more to cast for each other spell that player has cast this turn. So,
what?
Tron. I'm sorry.
Okay, so if a land's tapped for 2 or more mana, it produces a colorless instead.
Yeah, just 1 colorless.
1 color. Okay. Oh, God, that's annoying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That sucks for Tron.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Why? Oh, are you going to play this? Just shove it in every deck?
Well, I mean,
just
it seems like a sideboard card for Modern.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. One of mine is Tetsuko Umezawa Fugitive.
Excellent.
So I'm not sure. Is this the Umezawa with the Jitty? Is this the one of his descendants? I'm not quite sure.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Because I know there's the one from Kamigawa, but there's also one from Legends, which is like Grixis colors, and he couldn't be enchanted with it. He couldn't be, enchanted with auras, basically.
Right.
Yeah, so this is 1 and a blue for a 1/3. Creatures you control with power or toughness 1 or less can't be blocked.
Okay.
So he's just basically getting under there, sneaking in, getting some damage done. Unless they're at 0 power or toughness, then they're not getting damage done. But they can't get through.
Right.
They can't be blocked. I just love it because it's Umezawa. So.
Because it's Umezawa.
Exactly.
So
he's a fugitive.
Right. So you're picking cards on flavor.
Some of them just cards I'm excited about. Like those first 2, definitely flavor.
Yes. How Vorthos of you.
Yes, except I'm not really Vorthos, but I just seeing that type of stuff. I'm like, I can't. I gotta give it props for that.
You gotta.
What about you? What's one you got?
My next very excited card is Muldrotha, the Gravetide, which is 3 colorless, green, blue, black, for a 6/6. And then during each of your turns, you may play up to 1 permanent card of each permanent type from your graveyard.
Oh, I wonder why you like this card.
I wonder. And I've been weighing the pros and cons of Carador versus Muldrotha because they're only 1 color off, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe it's time to retire Carador. But white is a very powerful card to have if you're dealing in the graveyard.
That's true.
And so is blue. But also, I don't know. Man. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I have to make 2 different decks.
Yeah, with white, you can you got board wipes, you got the exile and stuff. Yeah. Blue, draw cards, bounce things.
Right. Yeah. And blue is Magus of the Bazaar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. So I think you might have to make 2 different decks.
I think so. That do the exact same thing. But...
Right. Sticking with the flavor, I have On Sarah's Wings.
Ooh.
So good old Sarah. It's 3 and a white for a legendary enchantment aura. Enchant creature is legendary. Gets +1/+1. Has flying, vigilance, and lifelink.
Okay.
That's awesome. I love how that just makes that creature so annoying.
Correct.
And it's just like Sarah's just lifting it up into the sky, making it a badass. Maybe we'll see Sarah.
I hope so. We got to see Sarah.
Is she dead? I know her realm's destroyed. I don't know if she's dead.
No, she is dead, right?
I think so. I think she might be.
Damn.
It's magic. Who knows? Everyone can come back.
Except for Elspeth.
How dare you?
So my next card is Naban, Dean of Iteration. So it's 1 and a blue for 2/1 for a human wizard. And if a wizard entering the battlefield under your control causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time in a deck with Inala and Panharmonicon and trigger wizard abilities 6 times. If they're non-legendary.
What? So much text. So many triggers going off.
The wizard folks will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right? I saw that card and I was like, oh, that's going to be so annoying in a wizard's deck.
Correct.
Oh, it's just so many like, oh, hold on. The stack is about yay high.
Right. Yes.
You're like, let me get my counterspell in between these two right here.
Somewhere, just fit it in there.
Right.
Cryptic command.
Okay, you know what? Maybe I did pick a lot of flavor cards because next we have Tiana, Ship's Caretaker. 3 red white for a 3/3 legendary creature, Angel Artificer, flying for a strike. Whenever an aura or equipment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may return that card to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. Blah blah blah. Doesn't matter. All I care about is Ship's Caretaker.
What ship could they mean?
What could they mean? It's the Weatherlight, guys.
It's the Weatherlight.
It's totally the Weatherlight.
We were right about it coming back just like 2-3 sets too late.
Forgot that they actually mentioned that the Weatherlight will be coming back. So awesome.
There.
Yeah. So I'm guessing a legendary mythic vehicle, probably.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope it's better than the other Weatherlight.
Ugh, right. That one's like wah wah.
Wah wah. Next on my list, oh goodness, I'm so excited about this card. Merfolk Trickster. It's blue and blue for a 2/2 with flash. And then when it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls, it loses all abilities until end of turn.
Oh, what? Gross.
It's so good.
Yeah, right? What would you use? Like maybe Death Shadow? Use it against that, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tarmogoyf. It actually works against Tarmogoyf.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That just hoses a lot of attacks. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool.
For me, I'm not excited about this card, but it's something. It's Oath of Teferi. 3 white blue, legendary enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, exile another target permanent you control. Return to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. You may activate the loyalty abilities of planeswalkers you control twice each turn rather than only once. Yeah. So, okay, that's cool. It's a little expensive, but the fact that you bounce something or blink it, and then you can also do 2 abilities.
Yeah.
But this also means Teferi's joining the Gatewatch.
That is what that means.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, oh, really? Teferi, interesting. Okay.
Wow. They really spoiled a lot with these spoilers.
Right? So, yeah. Are you a fan of the Gatewatch, like, overall? Like,
whatever.
I know, right? It's just kind of like every set we got to get someone joining the Gatewatch, basically. And it just feels kind of like, ugh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's joining. Probably means he won't die then.
It's going to be Jaya.
It's going to be Jaya. Blowing up in a blaze of glory.
Okay, my final one is Navigator's Compass, which is a 1-cost artifact. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life, and then you can tap it, and it says, until end of turn, target land you control becomes the basic land type of your choice in addition to its other types. Hello, mana fixing.
Okay, yeah, seriously. For 1 mana, geez, that's nice.
Right. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, anyway, just to fix your mana for cheap, always nice.
Yeah, right?
Okay, so there's 2 cards here. I don't know if they're talking about the past in them or what's happening in the set.
Okay.
The first is Primeval's Glorious Rebirth, which is 5 white, black for a legendary sorcery. Return all legendary permanent cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. And the next one is Dargaz Reincarnated, and it's 4 black, red, green for a 7/7 legendary creature dragon. Has flying, trample, haste. If it would die, instead exile it with 3 egg counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, if it is exiled with an egg counter on it, remove an egg counter from it. Then if it has no egg counters on it, return to the battlefield. So basically in the past, in the story of Dominaria, there were the primeval dragons, and they ruled Dominaria.
Right.
And then something happened, they died. Dargaz went around and he freed the green one, and then it tricked him to free all the others, basically. And then it turned out that he was actually the red one, like kind of reincarnated. Right. So then they did something where they had to sacrifice themselves to raise the black one, and then they all got reincarnated as like more the powerful ones they were supposed to be. And then Dargaz figured out like Karn like touched him and freed him from like a spell or something, and then he realized how he had become evil, so he killed himself by throwing himself in a volcano. So is this reincarnated? Right. Is this reincarnated guy, is he the past one, or he was reincarnated, so they're talking about the past, or is he coming back yet again? And then is the Primeval's Glorious Rebirth, is that when they were reborn, or are they getting reborn again as 5 dragons? A lot going on here.
You ask some very good questions.
A lot going on in 2 cards.
Right. We're trying to analyze a set that isn't even released yet.
Exactly, right? Like, are they just going to like, oh, we're setting up stories for so far to go into the future? Or are they just like, hey, here's some past?
Right.
Oh, guys, I'm not a Vorsoth, I swear.
I'm pretty sure you are. I'm pretty sure
you're
right? Booster Vorthos Tutor.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what's going on. Sorry. I'm surprised you didn't want to talk about Shinana? Sisei's Legacy.
Oh, so I'm super... Well, okay.
Okay.
I don't like the card.
Okay. But the fact they said Sisei, I mean, come on.
But the fact that it says Sisei is awesome.
Yeah. It's a green and a white for a 0/0. So already underwhelming. Legendary Human Warrior. It can't be the target abilities your opponents control. And then it gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. Yeah. What does that have to do with Sisei?
Sisei, please come back.
Yeah, like that is like guess because she can get creatures. She can get any legendary. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
Oh well. So yeah, and then also just a few quick ones. Counterspell and Lightning Bolt are back in the set, so that's awesome.
That's so cool.
Okay, technically not. It's Wizard's Lightning, which is the one we mentioned earlier, which is basically if you have a wizard, it costs 1 red and deals 3 damage. And Wizard's Retort, which is colorless blue for a just counterspell. And then it's 1 less for if you have a wizard. So you have to have a wizard, but
2 cost counterspell though.
Yeah, makes a freaking awesome cards if you have a wizard. And yeah, I think that's probably good enough. I think I picked a lot of cards, and I was like, you know what, maybe I picked too many. A lot of them are those things. So
I'm sure we'll have much more to talk about in the future.
Oh yeah, definitely. And also Mishra. They mentioned Mishra.
Mishra, guys, Mishra.
The Urza and Mishra. Come on, it's like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
That's all we're going to spoil for now.
Overall, you're so excited.
Oh, I'm so excited. This looks like legendary stuff, crazy mechanics going on, new card types, tons of past stuff. And perfect for 25th anniversary of Magic: The Gathering. Yep.
So finally, to wrap things up.
Yes.
We're going to go into the community spotlight, which we forgot last week, unfortunately.
Yeah, we did. Sorry. But we both got one this week, so makes up for it. There we go. Mine would be going out to Original Magic Art, and they're setting up a charity where you can buy a playmat with art from Look at Me, I'm the DC from Unglued, which is basically some art Morrow did, where it's, I'm guessing it's him or somebody, a little stick figure with a, what do you call it? A dart at a dartboard with cards on it, and it's just him throwing a dart trying to pick which one is going to get banned.
It's beautiful.
I might buy it. It's only $40. I mean, so yeah.
And speaking of Morrow, mine is actually just a shout out to Morrow. to thank you for, promoting inclusivity in the game of Magic and for defending it wildly against the hate mail that you get on your blogatog. Yeah, so if you're on Twitter, you might have seen that, or if you just follow Mark Rosewater on his blogatog on Tumblr, someone said basically we're attacking inclusivity, like, why do we have to go so much into it? And then he was like, listen here, open your eyes and see someone else's perspective, and don't be a
right?
jerk. Yeah.
maybe put yourself in other people's shoes and not think about yourself.
It was super cool. So thanks, Morrow.
Yeah. I forgot to mention the charity that the playmats go to is Highland Big Picture High School. So
cool. Proceeds
will go to that.
That's good things going on in the community of Magic.
Right. Thank you, Morrow.
Thank you, Morrow. Well, that does it for this episode of Cumulative Upkeep. You can send us an email if you'd like, cumulativeupkeeppodcast@gmail.com.
And if you're watching this on youtube.com/boostertutor, where you can find a video version of this, or you can listen to us on iTunes, Google Play.
And leave us a review or subscribe.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, please. Either of those would be great.
We have one so far, but that was back in September. It'd be lovely to get another one.
It would, please.
You can follow me on Twitter, booster_tutor.
You can follow me. I'm at untapupkeepj.
And that does it for us this week or 2 weeks.
Or, whenever we get around to this.
Yeah, whatever.
That does it for now.
All right, see you later.
Bye.
Bye. We always fall apart.
Always. Every time.
Always.
Why?
I was like, oh crap, we didn't write anything for the end. Dang it, we're going to fall apart.
Should we just script it?
Yeah, that'd probably make more sense.
It probably would.
Look at us planning.
Look at us planning.
Like we're taking this seriously.
Whoa.